Suppose he dies. Suppose the Duchess realised the dog was rabid when it bit him.
That would be murder.
Cecil, no!
Monica, what's the time?
Monica?
Coriander? What are you doing in my bedroom?
It isn't your bedroom. It's my bedroom.
All right, then. What am I doing in your bedroom?
Oh, nothing, I'm sorry to say.
Nothing, but I'm in your bed.
Yes, I noticed that too. Did you sleep well?
Never mind that. How did I get here?
As a matter of fact, you passed out. I had to undress you. No need to feel embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm just totally blank about last night. I got the worst hangover I've ever had in my life.
Not surprising after Chateau Lafitte and rabies serum. You sure you don't remember what happened?
Positive.
You remember coming back from Dora's? Well, we went to our respective rooms and I just got undressed when you knocked at the door with some absurd suggestion about seeing my sketches. I knew that wasn't what you'd come for, and you knew I knew that wasn't what you'd come for. But no sooner had you got into the room than you were out like a light. Not very flattering. Hope you don't make a habit of it.
Are you sure that's what happened?
Scout's honour, you never touched me.
That's not what I meant.
You really don't remember?
No. In fact...
I promise you, it's absolute gospel. Now, I have to be getting back to London. I do hope we meet again soon. You got my number, and I think after your performance last night, you definitely owe me something, even if it's only a drink. You still don't look too well. If I were you, I'd go back to sleep. Bye-bye.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Ooh. What did happen last night? I've got to piece it together before I face Parkinson.
Hell's delight. It's not part of your job to go prancing about digging things up in the middle of the night. You only muck it up. Kindly confine yourself to asking questions and handing over the answers.
Yes.
Now, why precisely do you imagine those people went to such lengths to prevent you from seeing the corpse of Mrs. Potts' poodle?
Well, I assume that it's because the poodle also died of rabies.
And yet, when the Duchess's dog contracted the disease, she was ready enough to inform the authorities.
Ah, well, she had to. It went quite mad and bit poor Louise, her kennel maid.
That doesn't follow. Your hypothesis isn't logical. I do not believe the poodle died from rabies. Where's the cake tin that you exhumed at Mrs. Potts' place?
In my office.
Good. Bognor, yesterday someone phoned the hospital to try and speak to poor Mervyn Sparks. It was a kennel maid of Mrs. Potts called Rose. It appears that she was prepared from time to time to give...
I know.
To give Sparks inside tips. I've arranged for you to take her out to lunch.
You've what?
You heard. Now, off you go like a good lad and clean yourself up.
Oh, sir.
Bognor, a cup of coffee and a plate of spaghetti will do. I'm not going to sign an expense claim for anything more.
Now, look, Rose, if you're going to be paid... If you're going to be paid, I'll have to know what it is I'm paying for.
What will you pay?
What do you want?
A couple.
Sorry?
£10.
Sorry, my dear.
Plus expenses.
It better be good.
Signore?
No, not you. Just leave the bottle, will you?
It's about Whately Wonderful. Mrs. Potts' poodle. Chin chin.
Cheers.
I think he was done in.
Done in?
I found him, you see, in the morning. And I'd seen him before. He was all right then. Good wet nose, clear eyes, good coat. And then later on, at feeding time, there he was. He looked as if he'd been in pain.
You don't suppose it could have been rabies?
Oh, don't make me laugh. He was as sweet-natured as ever.
And what makes you think it was murder?
Well, it was a bit sudden. It's the day before that makes me think it was murder. I think it was something to do with Mr. Handyside.
Handyside? Who's he?
Oh, he runs animal transport at Andover. Now, Mrs. Potts uses him when she wants to sell a dog abroad. He crates the dog up, does the licenses, and then takes the dog to the airport. He breeds pugs on the side.
And did he come on the day before Whately Wonderful died, then?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, they had a row. I don't know why, Mrs. Potts didn't say. But I think he wanted her to do all the domestic business with him as well. Dreadful shouting and swearing, and Mrs. Potts pushing him down the path, and him shaking his fist at her and saying he'd see her finished.
Are you suggesting that this Handyside fellow killed the dog himself?
Oh, he'd do it all right, believe you me. One look at Cecil Handyside.
I'm sorry, did you say Cecil? Cecil Handyside?
Spaghetti and chips.
That's right.
Oh, come on. Oh, Black Beauty. There he is, my little champion. Oh, you gave me the most awful fright. How dare you lurk about my property like this?
I was merely looking for Rose to get her to announce me.
Well, she's not here. What do you want, Handyside?
Well, just a spot of civil conversation. No need for the hysterics of our last encounter, is there? I was hoping that you might have reconsidered joining our little operation.
Go away, or I'll call the police and tell them what you did to my dog.
What dog? It's a bit late for that now, isn't it, now that you've got rid of the body?
Oh, I've already had a man round here from the Board of Trade sniffing around. They know somebody's smuggling dogs.
Yes, well, I'm sure you didn't tell him anything. By the way, where is Rose?
She's in London.
Did you notice that the shows at Lima and Cairo, Illinois, where the Dandy Dinmonts won so unexpectedly, were judged by the same man?
Really?
Yes. One Percy Pocklington, a Londoner, no less.
Lingard, is this your case or mine? I'll have you know that I'm well on the way to solving it under my own steam.
Sorry, just trying to help.
Coming. Come on.
Coriander accordingly.
Oh, yes, of course, I know who you are.
And you must be Monica. May I come in?
Simon isn't back yet. How do you know who I was?
Oh, Simon's mentioned you.
Look, I'm in the middle of drying my hair. I'm going out to see some friends tonight.
Yes. Don't mind me. I won't keep you very long. I just must speak to Simon for a moment. I owe him an apology.
Oh?
I imagine Simon's told you something of this dog smuggling business he's investigating. The fact is, he's got himself into rather deeper water than he realizes.
Yes, good. I would say that was a fair assessment of the evidence thus far, with one exception. I wouldn't hold out too much hope of charging Handyside with causing you grievous bodily harm. Might end up with a countercharge of desecrating ducal property. And that wouldn't do the department a lot of good. Apart from that, well done.
Bognor, you'd better get yourself home. You've got a long day ahead tomorrow.
No, sir. Tomorrow's Saturday.
That's what I mean. What takes place on Saturday, Bognor?
Gay rights, London to Brighton jog, sir?
Close. The Windsor Dog Show, Bognor. And who this year is judging the Windsor Dog Show?
Percy Pocklington.
Precisely.
Hello, darling.
Hello. Yes, Simon.
Coriander? What's going on?
Miss Cording has come to apologise, I gather.
Apologise? How did you find out where I lived? What are you doing here?
If you let me explain.
Well, I need a drink first. I thought I was shot at dogs for a couple of hours. Drink, darling?
Yes, please. That is, if you are addressing me.
Of course. Right. Coriander... Oh, you've already got a drink.
Well, I'm not leaving this room, if that's what you expect.
Super.
Ah. I'm listening.
Well, by now you probably think I'm involved up to the hilt in this dog smuggling business.
Pretty much.
Well, I am. Only not in the way you think, Simon. I'm involved for the same reason that you are.
The same reason?
Last September, when I was in the States, I was contacted by some people who were also very anxious to put an end to this dog racket. They thought I had the perfect cover, what with my painting and the travelling and... Well, in short, I agreed to work for them. I've been investigating this case for the last 6 months.
Why didn't you tell me this last night? And what about that cock and bull story you gave me this morning in your bedroom?
I had my cover to protect. I didn't want you blundering in before I was good and ready.
Thanks a lot. What changed your mind?
I've made a discovery. I can't be sure yet, but I think there's more to this affair than dogs.
More than dogs.
Could I have some ice, please?
I felt I ought to warn you. I gather you spoke to Rose today, didn't you, Mrs. Potts' kennel maid?
You've been following me.
Not you, her. Sorry to be so mysterious. Actually, we have been keeping tabs on you as well. What did Rose tell you?
Oh, a lot. She identified the man I saw you with last night at the Duchess's.
Oh, handy side. I don't believe he knows half of it. I can't say any more at this stage, Simon. You'll just have to trust me.
I can't see one good reason why I should.
Phone this number. It's in upstate New York.
Who are these people of yours?
Oh, just a little organisation you may have come across. It's called the CIA.
Hello, Bognor.
If it's that Cordingley woman, you can tell her to go and... What's this?
Oh, very interesting. Oh, it's very kind of you to ring.
Simon?
Wood ash.
What?
That was the labs. You know the cake tin I dug up at Mrs. Potts's place containing the remains of her poodle? No poodle. Wood ash. Just what I expected.
St Margaret's Hall, Windsor. Grand Dog Lovers League Championship show. Do you mean to put this on my tray?
What? Oh, yes, I did.
Guest appearance of Raffles the chewing gum dog. Best of show to be judged by Percy Pocklington.
Starts in an hour's time.
Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, come on. Look, if Coriander's right, I may need some protection.
What's in it for me?
Dinner afterwards at Lazar's?
You're on.
Dog shampoos.
Dog deodorants.
Bitch chastity belts.
Buy one for Miss Cordingley. Oh, look, ball toys.
They're dandy din monsters.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, certain. I recognise them anywhere. Little bandy legs.
Do look at the judge. So good. He's wearing spats. Whoever can he be?
Pocklington.
Who? Haven't you seen him on the telly? He does the meter exams. Where have you been? Whatever's happened? Millicent Trench's tiresome token, that's what's happened. Millicent Trench never won a best of breed in her life. Runted little dogs hers are. No wind and dreadful temperament.
Well, then why's she on today?
That's what they want to know. Either Percy Pocklington's made a bloomer or there's something fishy about it. If you ask me, there's something fishy. Why do you think Dora Dorset's looking so pleased with herself?
I don't know. What do you think?
Don't tiresome terribly any more than your Gregory Peck. Or the Duchesses.
Is that possible? you stay here. I'm going to have a word with Her Grace. Ah, Your Grace. I have just heard certain allegations made against you.
Young man, you are becoming tiresome.
Excuse me, Your Grace, can I have a word?
Good day.
But Your Grace, I just wanted to have a quick word with you about the,
Leave it, Albert. It's no use. She's a dreadful little woman. Dreadful little cheat.
Excuse me, but are you by any chance involved in this Dandy Dinmont business?
Some of the time, can't you see she's upset?
Perfectly all right, Albert. And if he's from the press, I am quite prepared to be quoted. Are you from the Dog News or the Gazette?
Neither. I'm from the Department of Trade.
Oh? Would you care for a cup of coffee? I don't see why not. The name's Ramble. Albert Ramble.
Forgive me for being dense, but you say that the Duchess managed to get one of her own dogs entered under Millicent Trench's colours, as it were. How?
Oh, it's easy, Mr. Bognor. The Trench woman has a dog called Tiresome Terrapin.
Yeah.
It has the same markings as a dog of Dora's.
Yeah.
So, for the day, Dora's dog becomes Tiresome Terrapin. Now, you can't prove anything. You can suspect, you can't prove.
But surely that wouldn't fool the judge.
Of course not. He's in on it. Percy Pocklington is a friend of Dora's.
All the same, she doesn't get any credit for it, does she? So why should she bother?
Despite me. My Minnie-Ha-Ha was the best dog in that show.
Dog, that's where the money is, you know.
I beg your pardon?
You know, the ad.
No.
Bulldog, the Excelsior chewing gum dog. Position, really.
It sounds as though you are. Who owns him?
Syndicate. Run by a man called Cecil Landyside. Oh, you've heard of him, have you? He's a nasty bit of work, Landyside.
And Pocklington, he's one of the syndicate. I hope that dog gets sick. That'll ruin Percy's day.
I think I'd better have a talk with this Mr. Pocklington. Thank you both very much. You've been very helpful. Would you tell Mr. Pocklington it's very important, please? Thank you.
What's the news on Raffles?
What?
You know, the chewing gum dog.
Oh.
Didn't you hear the announcement? He's gone missing. Look, if you would take a small gratuity.
Look, I think you're making a mistake. I'm not one of the commissionaires.
You're not? Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. My name's Higgins. Horace Higgins.
Oh, who are you with? The FBI?
FBI? No, I've been advertising. I came over here especially to see him. He's a most, he's a legend of the business, that dog.
This way.
You know, he can smell the difference between one brand of chewing gum and another. He can actually do that. He's the most incredible
nice
dog
to
you've ever
meet
seen
you.
in your life.
Ah, Mr. Bognor. I've heard so much about you from my friends.
You have friends?
I beg your pardon?
Well, judging from what I saw in the show ring, Mr. Pocklington, what you need are bodyguards.
Oh, that's little commotion. Will you join me? I assure you our security arrangements are quite sufficient to protect me from a lot of old women. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not just...
But not sufficient to protect the chewing gum dog, I understand. The rumor is that he's missing.
Really? Dogs, excuse me. Yes, well, knowing who you are, Mr. Bognor, I'm prepared to confide in you. The dog's been stolen. A couple of chaps turned up in white overalls and carted him off.
That sounds a highly professional job. But why would anyone want to steal the animal?
Ransom, I'd imagine. He's too well known to be of any other use.
Really? Oh, well, I've no doubt he's insured. I mean, if the worst comes to the worst. Don't tell me he's not insured. I mean, as one of the owners, you must have seen to that.
You're very well informed. Yes, it's a little commercial venture. But my part ownership, I mean, it helps me finance other, more serious affairs.
And what would they be, Mr. Pocklington?
My commitments as a judge. A very arduous and time-consuming business, Mr. Bognor. But then I suppose you find our little world rather naive. It's a world of simple pleasures, Mr. Bognor. make ordinary people very happy. I suppose it's your business to make life more complicated. Now, you've got some questions? Fire away.
Well, I have heard a number of allegations regarding the winning Dandy Dinmont.
I see. You're a bit of an expert, are you, Mr. Bognor, on the finer points of the breed?
It was a good thing I brought my checkbook.
Oh, it was worth it, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was delicious.
Do you know what I'm going to do now?
Mm.
I'm going to try and ring that American chap that Coriander told us about. Get a piece of paper. Oh, no, of course, it's the weekend. Shouldn't have given the CIA work on week... Oh, hello, yes, they do.
Hold it! Yes?
Hello, is this, what do I say? Is that the CIA?
Correct. This is the Canine Information Agency.
The Canine Information Agency. My name is Bognor. Miss Cordingley suggested that I should ring you.
Who? Oh, yes, indeed, I have heard of you, Mr. Bognor.
Oh, well, I wonder if you could tell me, does Miss Cordingley work for you?
Oh, yes, indeed. The delectable Miss Cordingley has been in my employ for some months, investigating certain irregularities, which it would be foolish to discuss over the transatlantic telephone. Don't want the other CIA to hear. Go.
Sounds as if war's broken out over there.
The Canine Information Agency.
Right.
So much for your major criminal network. What is it?
Assaults in their area. The latest incident happened today in the sleepy town of Surblington, where earlier this afternoon the body of a girl was found brutally assaulted in a secluded alley leading from the railway station.
It's Rose.
19-year-old
You're Rose.
Rose Jenkins was returning from a visit to the winter.